Okay, now let's write the part with the reset and simulate download. Well, reset is kind of the same thing that we have here. So let's copy this. Let me make this like so I have more room. And here this shall be reset. And since we are not passing anything, we can write it like this. Now, I cannot say value is 0 because I have not defined the value. This value is going to be used later on with loading, so we need to set a state for that. Let's say value and then set value. This is a use state and it starts from 0. Now, using React, we do not directly set the value, we use the setter. So set value to 0 like this. And both of these progress need a current, because as I said, when I am using the reference, there is a current object inside that ref that would point to the element. And again, I need to change this using this so that it only works if there is the progress in the DOM element. Now on the reset, we need to set this to value 0. And here, since we are resetting, we can say like 0 degree. That is fine. Okay, so reset is done. Next part is writing the load. Okay. And like this. And give it to this. Okay, let me go here and grab this loading from here and then put it inside here, but we need to of course change it. Okay, before going any further and changing this, I need to say that I need an effect here so that if the component unmounts, this interval stops. So let's do that like so. And here I need to stop this interval. So that is done on the return like this. As you can see here, let me first import this. I need to access this interval here, but this is local to this function. How can we reference it here? In order to do that, we need to define this interval outside of these two functions, so both of these have access to it. So just like the progress that we have here, I would have another reference. This time let's call it inter ID, and we can say this is either a number or none. Okay, now that we have the reference to the interval, we can use it here. We can say that if that interval ID that we are talking about, again dot current, because this is a ref and everything stores in the current. If this current is not null, which means that there is an ID here and it's running, we need to clear that. Say clear interval d dot current. Okay, now let's go to the load. On the load, now instead of using the set interval, we can define it on the window. So we can say window.set interval. It's basically the same thing, but let's keep it like this for now. Now we need to first set the value just like here. And so let me remove this part from here, and we are going to write this part. So we are going to say we need to set the value to a new value. Now here we need to use the functional approach of the use state, because we are inside this interval and we need to get the current value of the value. So we need to use the functional approach. So let's say previous value, and for that, first let's say that the new value is the previous value plus 10. Basically what we have just here. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Now I can use these two current property on these, and this new value is, as you can see, number, but this accepts a string. So if I say new value here, I would get an error saying that this is not assignable to a string, so I need to convert this to a string. We can do it like this. Okay, and then for this one it's just the same thing, but let's say new value. And I don't need to set this to ID. I need to say this is the, what was it, interval ID dot current. Okay, so now we have defined the current of the interval ID to be a timeout. Okay, now the only thing is that I need to, of course, return a new value here, so that this new value is being set in the set value, because we are using the set value, but we didn't set anything to the value. Okay, so this is this part. But again, just like here, we need to check for value of 100. So let me copy this, go here, and do this, and then say else. It's like this. Now, if value is 100, the thing that we need to do is clear the interval, and then we need to return the previous value, because we always have to return something. Now we get a TypeScript error here because it says it might be null, but we know that when we get here this is not null, so we can skip this error using this value. So now I get to, now this error means that the current, as you can see here, is probably null. In other words, it can be null, and if it's null then we cannot clear it. So, but we already know that when we get here, this interval ID has already set to a interval, so I can skip that using this. Okay, let me check it again. This is not value, this is previous value, and you can see we are not using the value, so we can remove it. And let's check. Great. Fantastic. This is loading and working properly now. But there is one thing that I would like to make sure, and that is if there is an already running interval, I want to stop it before starting a new one. So here I can check for interval ID dot current if it's not null. Then let's have some space here. Then we can clear interval. Okay, now this way we would make sure that if there is an ongoing, we would stop that and start again. So we can reset, start, and then reset, start again. Great. Hope you have enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.